Welcome. The time for doing is now past. The time for rest has come. Settle into your bed and allow your body to grow heavy, to feel completely and fully supported. Let your arms rest softly at your sides. Let your legs become limp and relaxed. Release the tension in your jaw and in your shoulders. There is nowhere else to be but here. Let us begin with a slow, gentle breath. Breathe in deeply through your nose, feeling the cool air fill your lungs, and then exhale slowly, softly, through your mouth, releasing the day with the breath. Again, a slow, peaceful breath in, and a long, calming breath out. Let your breathing find its own quiet rhythm, a gentle tide pulling you further and further into stillness. If thoughts of the day arise, simply notice them, like clouds drifting across a vast evening sky. Do not hold on to them. Do not analyze them. Simply watch them float by, and then gently return your awareness to your breath. Each exhale is an invitation to let go, to sink deeper into comfort, deeper into peace. Tonight, as you rest, we will take a gentle journey together, not with our bodies, but with our minds. We will allow our awareness to drift backward, like a single leaf on a slow, meandering stream, back through the corridors of time. Let my voice be your guide, and let the story be a gentle lullaby for your soul. Our destination is a quiet moment in history, a time 150 years after the life of Christ. The world is the Roman Empire, a place of power, stone, and steel. But we are not visiting the grand Colosseums or the palaces of emperors. We are seeking a different kind of kingdom, a kingdom of the heart, hidden in plain sight. Picture a city like Ephesus or Antioch. The streets are paved with stone, bustling by day with merchants, artisans, and Roman soldiers. But as dusk settles, a soft quiet descends. In a modest neighborhood down a narrow side street lies a simple home, a domus. From the outside it is unremarkable, but inside a gentle light glows. This is a house church, a domus ecclesiae. Inside, the main room is filled with the warm, flickering light of clay oil lamps. The air smells of baked bread and warm olive oil. People are gathered here not as an audience, but as a family. A potter sits beside a wealthy widow who offered her home. A slave sits freely beside a man who sells silks in the market. Here, their worldly stations fall away. They are simply brothers and sisters. They share the agape meal, the love feast. It is simple food: bread, cheese, olives, perhaps some fish. Each person brings what they can, and it is all shared as one. This simple act of breaking bread together is a profound statement. In this family, all are equal and all are cared for. It is an echo of a Last Supper, a promise of communion and belonging. As the meal ends, a deep, reverent quiet settles over the room. An elder, a man with kind, weathered hands, carefully unrolls a precious scroll. It might be a copy of a letter from an apostle, passed lovingly from city to city. He reads the words not with loud proclamation, but with a gentle, steady voice. The words speak of grace, of forgiveness, and of a peace that the world cannot give. The letters reminded them that they were part of a story much larger than themselves, a story of hope that began in a garden and would end in a city of light. They heard tales of courage and faith from other communities, fostering a sense of connection to their brothers and sisters across the vast empire. These letters were a lifeline, a source of encouragement, reminding them that they were not alone in their journey. They were a scattered family, bound together by a shared love and a common hope. The letters reminded them that they were part of a story much larger than themselves, a story of hope that began in a garden and would end in a city of light. They heard tales of courage and faith from other communities, fostering a sense of connection to their brothers and sisters across the vast empire. These letters were a lifeline, a source of encouragement, reminding them that they were not alone in their journey. They were a scattered family, bound together by a shared love and a common hope. And after the reading, they would sing. There was no grand organ, no trained choir. There was only the sound of human voices, joined together in simple, heartfelt harmony. They would sing the ancient psalms of David, timeless words of comfort and praise, and they would sing new hymns, born from their own experience of faith, songs of hope, of gratitude, and of quiet joy. The melodies were simple, easily learned, and passed from one person to another. In a world of imperial trumpets and marching drums, their music was a gentle counter-melody, a soft, soothing sound that spoke not of power, but of love. It was a sound that healed the soul and bound them together as one. As the last notes of the hymn fade, a comfortable silence fills the room. It is not an empty silence, but a silence full of shared feeling and quiet contemplation. In this stillness, they would pray, not with elaborate, formal words, but with simple, honest prayers from the heart. A woman might pray for her son, a legionary stationed on a distant frontier. A man might give thanks for the safe recovery of his child from a fever. They prayed for each other, for their city, and even for the emperor who did not understand them. Their prayers were a quiet conversation, a weaving together of their individual lives into a shared tapestry of faith. After the shared prayers, there might be a moment of personal ministry. An elder might lay hands on someone who is sick or troubled, offering a prayer for healing and comfort. This was not a spectacle, but a quiet, intimate act of care, a belief that the divine could touch the human through a simple, loving gesture. It was a moment of profound vulnerability and trust, reinforcing their bond as a family that carried each other's burdens. This faith was not just for meetings, it was woven into the threads of their daily lives. A baker working the dough in the pre-dawn quiet prays for his neighbor. A woman at her loom sees the intricate design of her creator in the pattern. Their work is a form of worship. Their ordinary lives are filled with an extraordinary sense of purpose and peace. Because their faith was not always understood, they had quiet ways of recognizing one another. A believer might casually draw an arc in the dust with his sandal. If another was present, they might complete the image by drawing the opposing arc, forming the simple outline of a fish, the ichthys, a secret handshake of the soul. This simple fish was a profound symbol. The Greek word for fish, ichthys, was an acronym, each letter representing a word: Yesous Christos, Theoios Soter, Jesus Christ, Son of God, Savior. In one simple image, they shared the entirety of their hope, a quiet message of identity in a world where they often felt like strangers. Another symbol they held dear was the anchor. In a seaport city, the anchor was a common sight, a symbol of safety and stability. For these believers, the anchor represented their hope in Christ, a hope that held them firm and secure, no matter how turbulent the storms of life became. It was an emblem of unshakable peace, etched onto their rings or tombs. And perhaps most comforting of all was the image of the Good Shepherd. They pictured Christ as a gentle shepherd, carrying a lost lamb on his shoulders. This was not a God of war or of distant power. This was a God of intimate, personal care, a protector who sought out the lost and vulnerable. This image brought them immense comfort in their daily struggles. Their faith reshaped the very foundations of their family life. In a Roman world where the pater familias held absolute authority, the Christian household was taught to be a place of mutual love and respect. Husbands were encouraged to love their wives as Christ loved the church, a radical call to self-sacrifice. Children were seen not as property but as blessings, to be nurtured in gentleness and instruction. And the elderly were not discarded, but honored for their wisdom and experience. The home became a small reflection of the larger church family, a place of safety, grace, and unconditional love. This sense of family extended beyond their own households. They were known for their generosity to the poor and the marginalized of the city. While the empire built monuments to power, these small communities built networks of care. They would regularly collect funds to support not only their own widows and orphans, but any who were in need, regardless of their beliefs. This quiet, consistent charity was a radical testimony in a world often governed by status and self-interest. It was a lived-out sermon, demonstrating the love they professed in their gatherings. Their life required a quiet courage. To their Roman neighbors, they were peculiar. Their refusal to worship the Roman gods was seen as disloyal. Their tight-knit community was viewed with suspicion. They endured rumors and misunderstanding. Yet their response was not anger. It was prayer, patience, and a gentle, unwavering peace. Their tranquility came from a deep conviction that their true home was not in the Roman Empire. They saw themselves as travelers, pilgrims on a journey to a heavenly home. This perspective freed them from the anxieties and ambitions of the world. It was the source of their profound and resilient calm, a peace that the world could neither give nor take away. This peace manifested in radical compassion. They collected funds not for buildings, but for people. They tended to the sick, regardless of who they were. They took in orphans. They honored widows. Their love was not just a feeling, it was action. It was a tangible expression of their faith, a quiet, steady light in a sometimes dark world. As the gathering draws to a close, they don't rush away. There are quiet farewells, a final shared blessing. An elder might place a hand on a shoulder, whispering a word of encouragement for the week ahead. The sense of family lingers in the warm, lamplit air. They leave as they arrived, quietly, in twos and threes, melting back into the shadowed streets of the city. But they do not leave the peace behind in the room. They carry it within them. It is a quiet inner flame that warms them as they walk the cool, stone-paved streets. This inner peace is their shield against the noise and haste of the world. It is the anchor that holds them steady in the currents of their daily lives, a secret spring of refreshment for their souls. Now, let these images of the past begin to soften. to gently fade like a dream upon waking. Let the warm lamplight dissolve. Let the quiet murmur of prayers drift away on the breeze. Our journey through time is coming to a close. We are returning, slowly, gently, to the present. What remains with us is not the historical detail, but the feeling, the echo of their profound peace, the warmth of their fellowship, the quiet strength of their hope. This peace was not just for them, in their time. It is a timeless river, flowing through the ages, and it is here for you now. Feel that ancient peace settling over you like the softest blanket. Let it soothe every muscle, every nerve, and every thought. Let it calm the waters of your mind, leaving only stillness and serenity. You are safe. You are held. You are at peace. There is nothing left to do, nothing to think about. Your journey is complete. All that is left is to rest, to surrender to the gentle pull of sleep. Allow your awareness to dissolve, to merge with the peaceful darkness. Rest now. Sleep now. Sleep deeply and be at peace.